know that when it comes to these things, I've been on I've been on a Samsung, I don't know, years, decades plus. The last time I had an iPhone, I think was 2009, 2010. It's been a while. Anyways, so I've been on Android for a long time, and I had that fold phone. You guys probably seen me use that thing or even show it a few times. So that thing blew up. That thing blew up uh, a week ago. No, it'll be a week tomorrow. Blew up last Thursday. Just exploded. Good thing it wasn't next to my face. Um, anyways, my son had bought me the new iPhone 15 Pro Max Galactic Lunar Landing iPhone at Christmas, and it had been sitting in beside my bed on the night table for 4 months. And he was the happiest person in the world that my phone blew up because now I have no excuse not to use his gift. But man, I don't know about the rest of you, but this is the hardest phone I've ever had in my life to use. It's pretty big. I got pretty big hands, but this thing, I don't know if you guys are iPhone lovers, I'm getting used to it. So if I text you something or on message or email you something and there's some typos there, blame the phone. Okay, it's not me, it's the phone. I haven't used that the ghost in the phone yet, that Siri thing. I haven't used that yet. So we're gonna get started. All right, it's 8:02. It's time to get started. Everyone, welcome uh, to our corporate call on May the 1st, 2024. It is an absolute honor and pleasure to address all of you tonight. And man, there's so many exciting things to share, so many updates to give you. So let me get started with some of the housekeeping stuff right away. And you guys are going to start seeing the benefits of this very, very quickly. So, first things first, in the United States, we've moved away from our 3PL that we had before, the last week of April coming into May. We're with a new company. They're one of the best and brightest in the world, world-class organization called ShipBob. And we've integrated them in. And the reason we're doing this is because we were having quality of service issues with our previous provider, random delivery challenges that we couldn't nail down, and it just came back to, you know, attitudes of different companies. Different companies have different missions and different belief systems, right? And so we had a parting of the ways in terms of how we wanted to deliver our mission, our products, and how we interact with the world, with the field, with our customers, and everybody. And we need the best possible service that we can provide. So we've moved on with this amazing new company. And what we've done, what we've implemented now is a service level. So when people sign up, ladies and gentlemen, so here's the key, big secret. So not a big secret. So when people sign up now with a kit, okay, any of the kits, when they sign up with the kit, once the order is picked, packed, and ready to go, the delivery time is guaranteed 3 business days. Okay? So not from when you place the order, because it could be in business, it could be on the weekend, could be after hours. Once it's picked, packed, and that's usually within 24 hours, they'll receive it, pick it, and put it on the truck. Once it's on the truck, it's 3 days for delivery anywhere in the continental USA. We're working on Hawaii. Hawaii is a different challenge. Okay? We're trying to figure that out. Because the cost to get it over there in that time is so exorbitant. It actually cost almost 100. It's crazy. But anyways, continental USA, we got nailed down. 3 days from the minute it lands on the truck. Okay? This is also going to apply to orders of 8 or more patches. We're going to offer the same delivery rate on that. Okay? They're going to get it once it's picked, packed up on the truck within 3 days of delivery. So all kits at sign up, because that's so important, right? 3 kits at sign up. And so any of the kits at sign up, whichever one they are, they're going to get it once it's picked, packed, 3 days of delivery. And then any order, whether it's a customer order or an associate order, eight or more packs, the same service delivery. That's going to apply in the United States, and that's going to apply in Canada. The caveat in Canada is this. Sorry, fellow Canadians. in this country, we have massive challenges delivering to PO boxes and those delivery or some very extreme rural places. So, for my American friends and my American family, I'm going to tell you a little secret about Canada. We have the second largest landmass of a country in the world, but there's only 37, 38 million of us. There's not many. And we've all decided that we're not going to live in the same area. So, from coast to coast, sea to sea, we're spread all over the place. And some of us live in little hamlets in the far corners of this wild, beautiful country, and it takes a little bit longer. So those we're going to treat like exigent circumstances, but for the larger population, for those of us that we can get to, we're going to offer the same delivery. So if there is a situation where somebody's not getting the product, a sign-up kit, or 8 or more pieces within 5 days, don't count the weekend, you got to reach out, okay? Telling us 2 weeks after the fact that something's happened, right? Obviously, something is amiss, either it's lost or something's happened, right? So we want to minimize that. The other great thing now is when you go in your back office, and this is one of the other reasons we moved away because the service level companies couldn't do it for us before. When you go in your back office and you go to orders at the top in your back office, not your shopping cart, your back office where you see your commission volumes, and you go to the top where it says orders, and you scroll down, it says all orders. When you open up any order, it's going to say track, and it'll tell you exactly where your order is, right? And it could be with any one of the multiple carriers that we use, but you're going to be able to track it. So you don't need to call in or email to find out where it is. It's going to tell you, just keep track of it. I place an order. The next day, go in there and say, hey, track order. Where's my order at? And it's going to tell you in real time where it is. And the way that they're providing that service for that 3-day business day service, once it's on the truck, is this. So they're very smart. So they're going to use whichever carrier can deliver that product, that package in that time. So they're not going to predisposition say, we're only going to use FedEx, we're only going to use USPS, we're only going to use UPS, we're only going to use DHL. They're going to make sure that they get the best rate, the best service delivery based on that moment in time. So what happens is, from a month-to-month, order basis, day-to-day basis, it might be a different provider. So we're not going to get handcuffed to saying, oh, well, that's the service level, because that's where we got, that's where the service level fell before, was, the 3PL had relationships with one or two of their preferred people, but they weren't delivering up to the expectations that we had. So that's completely been overcome. And so far, so good. I think it's working really, really well. We're going to monitor it even more closely to make sure that we're on top of it. So that's great news. Now, the tracking thing is amazing because we were spending so much time getting information that should have been automatic. And it used to be automatic, but again, changes in service levels broke that functionality. So it's back in the system. Go to your back office where you see your volumes. Go to the top, it says orders. Scroll down to all orders. Every order will have a red little tracking button right there. It says track order, and it'll tell you exactly where it is. So fantastic. Now, the next thing I'm really excited about, and that's live chat. Okay? So the live chat is going to be again in your back office, not in your shopping cart. So I'm going to show you a little video. Okay, I'm going to show you a little video and how to use it and what it does. It's right in the small corner there. So let me play the video and then we're going to talk about it. Okay, just bear with me for 1 second. Ooh, I hope I can play the video. Give me 1 second, gang. I'm going to put you on mute for a second. Give me. Can you guys still hear me? Yes? No? If you can hear me, somebody's typing yes, we can hear you. Okay, good. You can hear me. Fantastic. All right. So I'm going to open up what I need to open up here. So the reason I'm not as slick as I used to be is because we used Zoom forever, and then all corporate migrated over to Microsoft Meetings, and I finally gotten good at that, and I'm forgetting how to use Zoom. So give me a second here, gang. All right. So I am going to go back to my Zoom. I'm going to share my screen, which is here. All right, so this is about the live chat.
Live chat is now available to you on any page of your back office. All you have to do is navigate to the live chat option at the bottom right of your screen. First, you will be asked to select your preferred language. We currently offer English, French, German, Hungarian.
So gang, it's right here on this screen. Your back office in the bottom right-hand corner. That's where it is, okay?
Italian, and Spanish. You will then be prompted to select the category of your question. After that, you will be asked to fill in details regarding your question along with some personal information. Once connected, you may navigate around your back office while speaking with an agent. You may continue your conversation on any page within the back office. If you navigate to the shopping cart or enrollment form, your chat will remain in the back office for you to return to. Once you are done with your chat, an email transcript will be sent to the email ID provided at the beginning of the chat. If you chose any other language than English, you may also download the translated version at the end of the chat.
Okay, so let me stop that right there. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the genius of how technology advanced. So with that live chat, so again, it's not on the shopping cart, it's not in your replicated site, it's in your back office where you see your volumes and your teams, the bottom right-hand corner. So this is the beauty of it. So say you're in Quebec, or you're in France, or you're in Germany, or you're anywhere else where English isn't the language that we speak naturally. Okay? We can pick our language that we want to speak in or type in. We can type in our native language of all those different languages that were listed on that. The system is going to translate that into the language that the agent on the customer service agent understands on the other end. They're going to read it in English if that's the language they're reading in. When they type their answer in English, it's going to translate it back to you in the native language that you typed it in. Okay? So voila. So that's going to solve the communication problem. So the failure to communicate ends. Okay? So it's gonna make life so much easier. Then the beauty is this: you can go to the top corner and download your entire conversation translated in that native language. You're also getting an email to your email address of it, but it's going to be only in English. But if you download it from that chat, you'll get it in both. You'll get it in the native language and whatever language that was typed in. So this is why this thing is so amazing. Okay, our goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to get you the help you need as fast as you can get, as fast as we can offer it, right? So we're expanding the customer service team. We're adding more agents. We can't seem to hire fast enough, but we're doing the best that we can. And I appreciate your support and your patience and your diligence, right? But the growth we've had, I've said it before, we're driving 200 miles an hour around the track and we're trying to change the tires and not slow down. Okay. It is what it is, but trust me on this. It's not a lack of effort. It's not a lack of intention. We're trying to get ahead of it. Right. But we keep growing. But this is going to be a big resolve in that issue. Right. So get those answers quickly and then we'll go from there. And there's more AI support coming in that regard in terms of how the questions are answered, when they're answered. But this, I think, is going to be a big step forward. So very happy to share that with you guys. Um, but please don't test it for the sake of testing it, okay? We don't wanna, so the agents are going to be there, Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are growing the team to offer more support for the European team and the West Coast to make sure that times are aligned. Give us the next, 4 to 6 weeks to ramp that up because training is a big issue. Getting them on board takes time. But I think this live chat is really going to resolve a lot of issues for us. So I'm very, very excited about that. So thank you for your patience and thank you for your support. So that's some of the housekeeping stuff, and I think it's going to take us in the right direction. Now, what's next? What's next is, we've talked about it before, but I'm going to share with you now. So we're going live on Times Square. Tentative date to turn it on is May the 10th. Okay? May the 10th, we're going to be up there. That's what I'm pushing for. They've given us a tentative green light. If anything changes, I'll keep you guys posted. I'll let the leadership team know what's going to happen. So what I want to do is share with you, number one, what the real billboard looks like in Times Square, what it looks like. Then I'm going to show you a concept of what our artwork is going to look like to start with, and then we're going to keep updating it on a regular basis. So bear with me, gang. These things play so fast. So what I'm going to show you, gang, is another company that's marketed there before. And so let me share this so you have an idea. You guys can see my screen, hopefully. So this is the billboard. It's in Times Square. It's massive. Okay? We're going to be there 4 times an hour, every day, 365 days a year. It's part of our co-op marketing program. It's part of our customer acquisition program. Every customer that buys from our billboard is going to go into the pool. So this is how we're testing. This is how we're starting. We're doing this for brand building, brand awareness, bringing our brand to the globe, to the world. Okay, so this is what it's going to look at. Flavor, as you can imagine, how this is going to be with colors and excitement and all these different things happening there. Concept of our first one that's going to go out. So this is just the this is the concept. Let me start this from the beginning. So this is the concept. You can imagine this on that billboard I showed you. It's going to be live, color, QR codes, 15 seconds of super patch magic, just waking the world up to what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. And away we go. So anyways, I'm pretty excited. I think that's going to be so epic. And every week when we change the creative on it, the media company is going to send us kick-ass glamour shots of the latest, greatest little video of the ad that's playing there that you can share with your teams, you can share with your customers, you can share in your recruiting processes to help raise the awareness, right? So I think it's going to be absolutely, absolutely amazing. So that's pretty exciting. So what does this mean to all of us, right? And it's about our story. It's about the Super Patch story. It's about the story that we're telling the world, we're telling our customers, we're telling our teams. And I think it's a fantastic story, right? But all the great stories that have ever been told have some things that they all have in common, right? The first thing is, it's always the same story. Consistency, right? We all got to tell the same story. We can't tell different stories. Because when we tell different stories about the brand and the company, we're going to cause confusion, right? So we've had some incidents, and the reason I bring this out is real life story. Okay, so we had, imagine this: three different people happen to be in the same geographic area. They're very aggressive. They're out there kicking butt. I mean, I really love them for what they're doing. But they were telling the Super Patch story in three different ways to the same person, right? The origin story of the company, the origin story of the product, what our goal is, what our mission is, and all those different things, and their role and how they were participating in it. And of course, everybody's role and participation is different. But the story, the mission, the genesis of the brand and the story, that has to be the same. And so what happened was, because this one person was getting three different stories, they didn't do anything because they got confused. And a confused mind is a paralyzed mind. Okay? Now, some of you on this call have been with me on a previous project that we did. We had our Vox product, we sold the socks and insoles, great. But hey, we have to come to grips. That's a different company. That's a different technology. The Super Patch company is the Super Patch company. And I'll give you an analogy. We all know about the company Toyota, right? Toyota started in 1938. Sorry, 1937 is when the Toyota Motor Company started in Japan. In 1989, the ownership of Toyota launched a company called Lexus in 1989. And there's an entire culture, a product line, a belief system of how they make the products, how they sell the products, and what the products do that are completely greater, enhanced, better than what Toyota does. That's their whole value proposition. And people at Lexus say the company started in 1989. They don't say the company started in 1938. Super Patch launched January of 2023. We certainly have other stories from another opportunity, but that opportunity is not this opportunity. And when we tell people conflated stories, we confuse them. So I really need you guys to be on the same page with me, okay? Super Patch started January of 2023. We went from zero to almost $60 million in 1 year. That's unheard of in this industry. It far exceeded anything that we'd ever done, or most of the companies ever done in their first year. This is a runaway success. We don't need to embellish the Super Patch story about other things. Okay? Trust me on this. You have to trust Jay on this. That your best hand, you got 5 aces with Super Patch Company. Okay? 5, not 4. You got 5. You actually got 12 aces with the 12 different patches we have, right? You have things that nobody else has. And I really need you guys to be consistent in that, because the only person you're hurting is yourself. And because when people get confused, then they're like, I don't know what to believe. And we lose our integrity, and we do those different things, right? So I really want you guys, as a favor to you, yourselves, your teams, and to me, is to say, what's the background story? This is how I say it, and I'll personalize it for you. The Super Patch Company launched in January of 2023. It's got over a decade of R&D and millions spent developing this amazing product technology called VTT. Jay, the inventor, has developed other health and wellness products in the past, but he says that this is the greatest thing, the greatest technology he's ever developed. I've been here since the day that you joined Super Patch, or from the beginning, and I love it. Anytime that you try to go back to complicate things to say, hey, I've been with this before this thing started, you're diminishing your role and what the company is doing. Hope that makes sense, everybody. Right? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Nobody cares. I just want to know, hey, when did the company started? 2023. That's all you need to know. And it's a runaway success. It's a runaway success. There are venture capital companies funded to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars that can't get to where we got to in 12 months. That's the story. Our product is so fantastic. Our technology is so great. We're so great. Our team is capital companies. Why? Because they lose money for years and years and years and years and years. Like Uber. Right? Uber's never made $1 profit. Sad but true. Why? Because we have something that's changing the world. So I just want you guys to absorb that, right? So when we're sharing it with our teams, you all got to write your 2 sentences. Anything that happened before January 2023, I'm telling you this, because this is how because I don't have a rear view mirror. I'm telling you this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because it's not going to help. If it would help you, I would say, yeah, intertwine this and make a basket out of the story and paint this tapestry. It doesn't help you. I don't talk about it. I don't do that. People say, Jay, what do you do? I develop neurotech products. Tell me more. My latest, greatest invention is Super Patch, is VTT. I spent 15 years and $22 million developing this, and we're changing the world. I've also developed other things, but that's my story. I developed those things. That's not your story. Your story is I'm participating now, in the right now for tomorrow. Let's win tomorrow, guys, right? Forget about the past. We can't change it, right? If we could change the past, trust me, there's a lot of things I'd change, not just our start date, okay? So just, this is from my heart to you guys, to make sure that we're all on the same page and we're saying the same thing. And you got to make sure, leaders, you got to make sure. And I had a little quiz with our leadership team on our little leadership group that we have. And, that was the question, hey, when did the company start? And most of the part were good. And we had a couple of answers that, that weren't right. But that's okay. It's learning, right? And then what do you say? This is what you say. Okay. So that's enough of that. So now we're in May 1, 4 months. 4 months are gone. Excuse me. 4 months are gone. We're in month 5 of the year. So how are you going to start? Okay, so I'm going to start at the top. And the guys at the top already know what to do. Our MVPs, I'll tell you what our MVPs are doing right now. They started last week because before the month closed, because month end is month end, and they're super focused. But this is what they're doing right now. They're breaking their group by rank. They're having their RVP meetings, and they're building their monthly plan of number of contacts, number of meetings, number of follow-ups, number of 3-way calls, where, when, who, and how. They're working with them one-on-one to get that done. Then they're having their VP meetings, separate group, personal care, personal leadership, exact same thing. What's your goal? Who are you calling? When you're calling? What's your 3-way calls? How many meetings you're doing? How many follow-up calls you're doing? And they're understanding, because when people are sharing their story, now you have a roadmap of accountability, right? I did this with our leadership team, with myself. Our top leaders are accountable to me in terms of what they're going to do on a month-to-month, week-to-week basis, because I want them to succeed so you succeed. And if they don't know what to do, then we have access to some of the best leaders in the industry. They're going to provide that guidance. Say, hey, we got to do this way. And you got to go down 3-4 levels of leadership. So if you're a VP, your managing directors should be the people you talk to every day. And your directors, you should be talking to every day about how you're going to help them get to the next level. That's your maniacal focus. I don't care where you are. If you are not helping people rank up, you're missing the boat. Trust me on this. The people that have reached MVP, 1-star, 3-star, MVP, RVP, they got there by helping their team go up. All ships rise with the tide. But you got to do it now. If you don't do it now, I'm telling you, you're not going to do it tomorrow, you're not going to do it next week, and all of a sudden you're going to wake up in the middle of the month and say, oh, it's too late. So go home in front of your desk. You're already home. If you're home now, if you're on the road, get on the phone with your leadership team. Get on the phone, whatever your ranks look like below you, but you got to know what you're doing. and you got to tell them how to do it, and you got to get them to do it, and you got to get them on three-way calls with your upline, because that's how it's going to. That's how the best are doing it. I'm learning as you guys are learning. I'm learning from the best. This is what they do every day, every day, every day, and they're growing, and their teams are growing, and they're succeeding, right? So my job is to take the best that I learn from the top players in the industry and share it with all of you. Okay, so it's ours for the taking, right? We're into May. It's exciting. Let's go. Look at your points on Cancun, how far you are. Let's get as many people as we can there. It's going to be a blast, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's up and onwards. We have an amazing leadership team now. Some amazing leaders have emerged over the last 6 months. Let's leverage them. Let's get their insights. But this is the key to leadership. Okay, this is the key to growth. It's about mentorship. Okay, when we don't know what to do, ladies and gentlemen, when I don't, I'll personalize it. When I actually don't know what to do, I go to the person that's already done it or already doing it, who's in a level of trust with me that I trust them. And I say, if you were me, what would you do? And then I do exactly what they say. Because if I don't know what to do, then the next best thing is to go find out someone that's just done it or is doing it right now and say, hey, if you were me, what would you do? And then I'm not going to, because I don't know. So I'm not coming from a place of knowledge, right? I'm coming from a place of unknown. Then I'm telling I just do what they say. I have mentors, right? There's times when I say, hey, this is the strategy I want to apply. This is what I want to do. You know, what do you think? And I'll get their feedback, and they'll might advise me one thing or the other thing. But there's other times when I've tried all these different things, and nothing I've tried or whatever I've deduced has worked. And then I say, hey, if you're me, what would you do here? Because I've already tried these. What would you do? And then I don't question, because I know they've already done it. They're coming from experience. They're coming from success. They're coming from concern for me. They want the best for me. And I just do it. So if you're telling, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, you got to trust me on this. If your leader who's successful has done it, is saying, do this, I need you to do this, you got to be the Karate Kid. You just got to do what Mr. Miyagi says. Wax on, wax off. You just got to do it. You got to do it. It's faith. You got to do it. And you got to trust it. You got to trust the process. And you got to trust your leader. You got to trust the upline. You got to do it. Even if you don't want to do it, you got to do it. That's when you have to do it the most. And the hardest is when you don't want to do it, because that's the uncomfort zone. That's when you're growing. Right? If you only do what you like, you're not going to grow. We know this, right? So if they say, hey, I need you to call these 5 people, guess what you got to do? You don't tell them, well, I don't want to talk to this person or this person. No. You got to call those 5 people. Even if they hate you, you got to call them. Even if they don't talk to you, you got to call them. Why? Because that's what your mentor said. You got to do it. Mentorship has a price. Okay? If you want somebody to lead you, you have to follow them. Because what'll happen is they'll tell you 3 or 4 times, and then they're going to stop answering you. They're not going to pay attention to you. They're not going to respond. They're not going to integrate with you in your life and your business. Right? And that's what you want. You want the best helping you every day. You want them so vested in you because you respond, because you take the input and you act. Action supersedes strategy. This is why we always say, when you have a pack of patches, go do some demos. Trust me, nothing bad has happened out of doing 28 demos. Only goodness comes out of doing 28 demos. Only goodness. Your business will only grow. You get more customers, get more associates. Every time. Every time. If you stop doing that, you've chosen to disengage from best practices. Right? That's like saying, when you're in the racetrack, you're racing your car, you keep winning when you go this way. All of a sudden you're like, well, I'm going to go this way. You're not going to win. Okay? You're going to hit on-head traffic coming at you really fast. Okay? Follow the process. Demos every day, every week, every day, every week. You got to do it. Okay? That's the key. That's the key. Now, finally, that's enough lecture. I'm going to give you guys a reward now. Okay? Here's the reward. And it's a reward is for you working your butt off and ranking up. You got to get up. You got to get to VP. You got to get to VP. You got to work and you got to get to VP. You got to grow your team and get to VP. Okay? Right? If you're a managing director, I want you to get to VP. Right? Because if you get to VP and you do $100,000 in volume, right? If number one, if you're a managing director right now, and in May you get to $100,000 in volume, $100,000 in volume, and you're full VP, not only going to earn your rank advancement bonus, I'm going to pay you an extra % on your BV volume. Okay, go. If you're a VP already, the only way you're going to get it is by helping your team grow. You can't do it by yourself. This is why it's for your leaders. You got to help your team grow. If you're a VP, you got to get to RVP. And if you do $300,000 in volume as an RVP and you're qualified, not only going to get your rank advancement bonus, I'm going to pay you another 1.5% on your group BV. Okay? Now, if you're an MVP, you got to do $1 million in volume. But I want you to help 3 people reach RVP. I want you to work your tail off to get those VPs and help them become RVPs. And if you do that, I'm going to pay you 2% on your group BV. Okay? So what does that mean? When you're up to managing director, you're building your team into little pods. But now you got to focus on building and developing those. You got to get up into the ranks. I need you all to make a lot more money. You got to make money. You got to make money, right? Because you're investing time and energy. We talked about the 4 pillars, right? What sustain everything. We love what we do, right? First pillar, we have something the world needs. Second pillar, we love what we do. Third pillar, we commit to excellence and constant improvement. Fourth pillar, it has to be reliable, scalable compensation for doing the other 3. So this last little bit is about saying if you help your team grow, you will grow and you'll be financially rewarded even more than you already are, right? But let's go. Let's get it done. And leadership starts with your team. You won't grow until your team grows. So if you don't help your directors grow, you're not going to grow. If you don't help your managing directors grow, you're not going to grow. If you don't help your VPs grow, you're not going to grow. Trust me, you can't. It doesn't work. So help them. And when you help them, you'll be helping yourself and your family. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Have a good evening for now. Bye-bye.